Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, we're going to be talking about transit Mars conjunct one's natal Neptune. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Mars, it can be about action, motivation, energy, vitality, enthusiasm, and even things where we're very exuberant, but doing things with a lot of exuberance. And when you have this transit contacting your natal Neptune, it could manifest in a lot of action, activity, and motivation, energy, enthusiasm in your dreams, your fantasies, your ideals. I mean, if this is in Sagittarius, it might be very big dreams, and one's on a global level, for example. It can be also acting upon those dreams and fantasies as well. It could be where you might have something that maybe you fantasized about for it could have been a protracted period, and if it's been delayed or you procrastinated on it for whatever reason, it could be the time to take, you feel the time isn't right now to take action and initiative on it. And also, I mean, Neptune is about our ideals, what our own ideals, and it's really and it's about maybe fighting, for that as well, whether it might be a home situation or some love in your life. Fourth house. I mean, this is something. I mean, again, could be family, something with the home, having someone close to home with your situation with the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. And also, too, it could even be a lot of enthusiasm and action connected with those that are less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, or the hungry. Now, the thing about it is, this is something, even fighting for those that are less fortunate, and those maybe the weaker people that are more passive, or ones that have difficulty in standing up for themselves and their rights. And Neptune is also connected with dissolving and dissipation, so it could be a time where you're some of these, some of what I describe, all the action things associated with Mars might be, you might feel they're dissolving a little bit. It could be energy dissipation or dissolving at this time, or it could even simply be taking action on something that may be dissolving or dissipating at this time. I mean, regarding, say, if it's in the fifth house, it could be a love situation. Seventh house, some relationship or some business connection. It could be, something, second house, something of a monetary nature, your finances, say dissolving assets, but I'm really being flippant with that one. But anyway, and also this is about, I mean, the Neptune could be connected with delusion as well. And also, if you feel you've been somewhat delusional about a situation, this is the time where you would likely take more action on that and do something about that if there's something unrealistic going on in your life. But at the same time, this could also manifest in sexual, fantasizing rather than actually doing something about it. And maybe it might even be ones that could be unrealistic. Now, also to remember, Neptune is connected with deception and duplicity. So it could be a time where you might be a little bit more livid or exasperated, angry regarding some kind of deception or duplicity at this time. And could also be time more where there might be more action, basically, in escapism and isolation. If this is you might be putting more energy into doing something, relaxing or meditation, things that aren't, really as physically strenuous. It could be, something of a spiritual nature, uh, something where maybe you're just finding a remote, desolate place and just curling up with a book and reading at this time. It could also be, there might be more activity that you might be involved in solitude and seclusion. It could be doing something with weights, working out, weightlifting. Mars is connected with iron, so it could be something where you might be more inclined, if you're somebody that's been going to a gym or where people congregate more as far as working out. It might be a time, if you're a weightlifter, bodybuilder, you might be finding more time to and more inclined to do this by yourself. Now, also, too, anatomically speaking, Neptune is connected with the feet, the toes, the immune and lymphatic system. So it could be a time where if you've had some issues with any of those things I described, it might be a time where you might be taking some action on it, more so than usual. If you've been kind of procrastinating and you've had some problems with this, or it was something you felt like you needed to get checked on, as far as, you know, the lymphatic system, something with your immune system, what can you do to see, you know, as far as how, you know, the situation that it's in, how healthy it is, or what have you. This could be the time where you might actually be trying to, you know, figure this out. And anyway, and get it diagnosed or what have you. Now, another thing too is that we're talking about Neptune can be involved and connected with lethargy and relaxing, and again, it could be about more energy injected into those things than usual. And sometimes this could be about some of your energy, you know, your actions maybe might be a little bit more, you know, confounding to others or befuddling, and they don't understand maybe why you did, you know, something like this. It's like, you know, if you're having, like, somebody has a fire in their home and they're going out the door where the fire is more profuse as opposed to the other side where there's very little or no fire, just something like that. You know, looking for a door, you know, like one of those old style cars that got the windows that roll down manually. You got that handle that you turn around, and when it's somebody reaching for that one, it's not there. Just actions like that that might be befuddling to others. And also, I mean, Mars, of course, is connected with initiative, enterprise, and also impatience. So it might be a time where you might be a little bit more impatient with very elusive or evasive people that might be, you know, either lying to you or ones that aren't, you know, they're avoiding you, escapists, people that won't confront you about something when you would rather them do so. It could be a time too where I mean, say this is in Capricorn in the third house as an example, this transit. It could be something, maybe it could be involve older people, and it might be, you know, because that's connected with Capricorn, or it could be a sibling, a cousin, or a neighbor, which of course corresponds with the third house. Now, at this time as well, you might find yourself having more courage and valor and fortitude to attain your dreams and things that you may have fantasized about. Say if this is in Aquarius in the sixth house, for example, it could be something with computer or astrology service, or something where you're showing a lot of selflessness in a service you may be providing for somebody. It could be something with electronics as well, or some kind of electrical work that you might be doing. It's also too where you might find yourself being more outspoken about maybe deception or deceit or delusion at this time, if you're dealing with, say, you know, a duplicitous, relationship. I mean, say for example, if this is in Scorpio in your fifth house in your natal chart, it could be maybe being, you know, delusional regarding an obsession, which could be Scorpio, and lover, of course, the fifth house. You might be outspoken about, you know, what you've done, you know, as far as that goes yourself, being more critical regarding yourself, being delusional in that matter. Now, could also be where you might be expending a lot more energy and vitality, or I should say, I'm sorry, your energy and vitality may be more dissolved and dissipated at this time. But on the other way that could pan out, I mean, it could be where you don't feel that your energy might have any limits, because Neptune could be about self-deception. So keep in mind that if you have, if you're doing like work that requires, you know, an exorbitant amount of energy, and you're working in construction, you know, physical energy construction, you're working in a warehouse or something, just make sure that you don't overdo it, because I think this transit might actually go the other way in some cases. Now, Also, too, there might be a greater propensity for accidents, which of course is Mars due to something being foggy or unclear conditions, and things that are foggy, nebulous, or unclear are associated with Neptune. Uh, the thing about this is, I mean, if it's in the third house as an example, that could be, I mean, of course, with driving and having to be a little bit more prudent regarding driving conditions more so than usual at this time. Also, too, the situation or situations with Neptune, like people, may be a little bit more contentious or combative than usual, whether there's people that are in spirituality or the metaphysical, which include astrology, poets, dancers. Uh, it might be people that are in, marginalized society, such as people that might be oppressed, the hungry or the homeless, the impoverished. But it could also be, as I stated before, fighting for those that are weak and maybe defenseless as well at this time. And might even be battles with people that are chronic drug users or alcoholics at this time as well. Um, in isolated cases, remember Mars can be about surgery, and it could manifest in surgery on the feet or the toes. I don't know if there's actually surgery can be done on the lymphatic system, but if there is, that could be another possibility. Maybe there's something in the body that might be depleted due to a weakened immune system that might need some surgical work, if that's possible. And also remember, Mars could be connected with muscles, so this could also manifest in some cases as muscle weakness or deterioration. If, say, if this is an Aquarius, it might be something with the lower leg, somewhere in the lower legs, perhaps. Capricorn, it might be something with by the hamstrings. And remember, Neptune is also associated with body fat. So this could be a time where that might impact your energy more so than usual at this time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.